Welcome to the Weather Guru podcast for Monday, February 25th, 2025. Thank you for joining me. Please hit that like button or the subscribe button for the Weather Guru for the latest weather news and interpretation that's happening in the lower 48 United States. Thank you for your support, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, we're currently looking at the water vapor image, and it's showing a beautiful spring-like pattern setting up here for a zonal flow. So anywhere from the Sun Belt down into the Southwest over to the American Southeast here, perfect conditions, sunny temperatures in the 60s, 50s degree Fahrenheit, all the way down the I-95 and I-10 corridors here. And this orange air, dry air, is going to stick around for the next few days until the weekend. We get this system up here with the white up here in the upper plains is going to eject over toward the Ohio Valley in the northeast and producing some rain and showers for them. But in the meantime, enjoy these spring-like temperatures for the next 2 days here as we head toward the weekend. It's a sign of things to come here later on this season. Now, for tomorrow, Wednesday, February 26, 2025, there's the forecast for Wednesday, February 26. You can see there's going to be a bunch of rain in the Ohio Valley. So if you're coming across I-70 or I-75 there, coming up through the Cumberland Valley up into Columbus, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Indianapolis, Champaign, Kankakee, Chicago, land area, over toward Quad Cities, Davenport, Iowa, you're going to be experiencing rain and thunderstorms here in that area. Now, as a warm front progresses, now up in the northern tier, you're going to have snow or mixed precipitation or sleet and snow, but it's going to be light in nature, nothing that you can't handle. So from the Arrowhead of Minnesota down through Rice Lake, Wisconsin, back towards Kenosha and Chicago, the northern suburbs, and then over toward the Great Lakes, Michigan, Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, over toward Detroit, and Lansing and over toward that area, you're going to be into dealing with some mixed precipitation. And this is going to extend into the northeast as well. So if you're coming up into the Cascades, the Adirondacks, the Tokyo Plateau, over toward the Green and White Mountains of Vermont and New Hampshire and the Berkshires of Massachusetts, you're going to be experiencing that a little bit mixed precipitation. That's tomorrow, February 26, 2025. So be careful if you're coming on the New York State Thruway or the Pennsylvania Turnpike or the Ohio Turnpike. Be very careful there. Slick roads are possible as this mixed precipitation expected to last throughout the morning all the way to this afternoon, tomorrow afternoon, February 26th, Wednesday, sometime between 2 and 4. So out west, it looks good. In the Pacific Northwest, the PNW, the Pineapple Express finally shuts off, and there's just some occasional drizzle that could be possible from Seattle to Bellingham, over toward Kent Island and Bainbridge Island, and those islands off the coast there of Washington State. Elsewhere, LA, San Diego, the Bay Area looking great. Vegas looking great. Phoenix, Scottsdale, Tucson, New Mexico, Albuquerque. Some snow showers if you're coming up, leaving Albuquerque on 25, I-25 heading toward the Raton Pass, and in the Sangre de Cristi Mountains. A little bit of mixed precipitation there, but nothing that shouldn't slow you down as you make your way toward Trinidad, Colorado, and eventually into Denver and Colorado Springs. Everything looks good there for tomorrow, February 26th. Looking at the radar here for the northeast here, I showed you those snow showers denoted in blue, rain denoted in green. You can see some snow showers here toward Mount Washington Observatory for you folks up there. They had one gust of 165 miles an hour last week. This week, snow showers continuing for Vermont and New Hampshire up into Maine, just north, a couple hundred miles north of Augusta, Maine. And those areas then, the interior Maine, are getting that snow. Rain is along the coast here once again for Boston, Pittsburgh, just west of the 495 corridor for Boston, down toward Quincy, Dorchester, back toward Rhode Island, Providence, hello to you guys, and back over toward the Long Island. His exiting Long Island here, leaving Suffolk County out there, past the Southampton, New York, and Long Island there. That's the rain showers now. That's what we have going on there. But looking at the overall temperature structure, like I showed you again, huge surge of warmth in the southeast. 73 degrees Fahrenheit in Atlanta, 75 degrees Fahrenheit in Miami, 75 degrees Fahrenheit in DFW, and a quick 71 degrees Fahrenheit in Little Rock. Hello to you guys. A warm air is going to continue for, like I said, for the next 2 days, Wednesday and Thursday, and then we get a little bit of a cool down heading to the weekend as that frontal boundary moves through, but nothing we can't handle. Remember, we're still into winter officially, but the start of meteorological spring is March the 1st, and then the real spring starts, of course, later on, and all of that. But nothing too terribly cold here compared to last week here, even in the upper Midwest. 46 degrees Fahrenheit for a high on Wednesday, February 26th for Minneapolis, St. Paul, and the Twin Cities. 51 degrees Fahrenheit for Chicago. That's excellent for late February. For a high tomorrow, February 26th. 56 degrees Fahrenheit in DC. 55 degrees Fahrenheit in New York. 46 degrees Fahrenheit in Boston. So excellent temperatures all around. Even Denver at 49 degrees Fahrenheit is a steal for this time of year. And looking at the radar here, courtesy of the National Weather Service. The national picture you can see here, we just had those showers I showed you in Maine and New Hampshire and Vermont and upstate New York and Canada as well. Ottawa and Montreal have showers as well. But we had those showers in the central part of the country here. We zoom in a little bit here. We had some showers here heading toward north of Minneapolis, St. Paul. So on the northwest side of town there, if you're heading toward Brooklyn Park, just north of St. Paul and Edina, St. Cloud, you're getting in some showers there in Minnesota. Along the I-29 corridor up between Fargo and Watertown, South Dakota, some showers continue to extend in high prairie country. This goes all the way down into Nebraska. So if you come along Sioux City, I-29 there to Sioux Falls, be very careful that some showers are extending there just as you pull out of Omaha, about an hour north of Omaha, Nebraska. Other than that, everything else is crystal clear here for today and tomorrow here. And some brief showers that continue in the Big Sky country in Montana and also up towards Spokane for the Sawtooth Mountains here. This is rain and the stovepipe of Idaho here, just to the east of Spokane as you come along I-90 there, as you get into that Big Bend curve there into the Montana area. Once again, the National Weather Service has us here. We don't have many because it's been such a beautiful day across the country here, but we do have a dense fog advisory for today, February 25, 2025, for the Louisiana, all of the lower Louisiana basin here. So from New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Lake Charles, Cameron Parish, Lafitte Parish, all the way down to Houma Parish, you have a dense fog advisory. So be careful if you're coming along Lake Pontchartrain area, I-10, I-12, I-49, typical areas. You want to be careful there in those areas here. And it extends into southern Mississippi too as well. So Picayune, Mississippi, those areas, Gulfport, Biloxi, be careful. Now in the Central Plains, we do have a red flag warning. This is Nebraska coming along I-70, going Kearney, Nebraska, and just 76 heading into Nebraska too as well. High wind warning and a red flag warning. Dry conditions persist in Montana as well. Cheyenne over toward Casper, and thus we got that orange and red shading there as well. And out Pacific Northwest, the PNW, once again we have a little bit of a flood watch and there in the green here, just to the west of Tacoma, Washington, and you want to be careful there in Bellingham and those areas to the east in Washington there for high winds blowing out the gorge there, Columbia River Gorge. And then of course you had the winter weather advisory, just a brief advisory like I said for the stovepipe into the highest elevations of the Bitterroot Mountains and the Sawtooth Mountains of Idaho and Montana respectively. So ladies and gentlemen, this is your midday forecast for Monday, February 25th, 2025. Thank you for listening. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll see you on the next episode. This is the Weather Guru signing off.